Hi. So normally I wouldn't do this, but given what's going to happen this Sunday, I feel like I should at least express my opinions on what's going on. So, a refresher for what's happening this Sunday, it's Minecraft Live 2023, and also the conclusion of the Mob Vote 2023. For those of you who are new to Minecraft or just unaware of what's going on, basically, the mob vote is a yearly event in which users from all around the world can choose one of three mobs to be added to the game. And right now, the entries for this year is the crab, armadillo, and penguin. And Mojang Studios has been doing this for a couple of years now. I can't remember for how long because there's been so many of them. But people are not really happy this time around with the mob vote. So I'm basically going to explain why. Well, first let's take a look at these mobs that are going to be voted. So the first entry is the crab. And this is straight from the Minecraft website, by the way. And according to the website here, in this article about the crab, it says here, the crab has one gigantic claw, which it likes to wave around as it scuttles through its home in the mangrove swamp. This giant claw is very special because if a player manages to find one, they can use it to place blocks further away. So that's basically what's going to happen if we vote for the crab. You'll find these crabs in mangrove swamps, and if you collect their claws, you can place blocks further away. Next is the armadillo, and once again, straight from their website, the armadillo calls the vast desert of the savanna biome its home, plodding serenely between the long grass until you surprise it. Just like a few of its real-world counterparts, the armadillo can roll into a blocky ball if startled, which looks just as cute as it sounds. The armadillo also drops a special scute, which can use to craft something new, wolf armor. Like horse armor, wolf armor will give your four-legged friends some extra defense. Perfect if you and your favorite pet tend to get surprised by skeletons after nightfall. So that's what the armadillo will do if it gets added to the game. It's going to drop its scutes, which you can use to craft wolf armor. And finally, the penguin. You'll find the penguin in the stony shores biome, waddling around the beach or swimming in the nearby ocean. Just like its real-world counterpart, the penguin is a social mob, and it's amphibious. It means it's happy both on land and in the water, though it can be a little clumsy when walking. The penguin is a speedy swimmer, though, and has a very special skill. It can help your boat travel faster. So, I guess sort of similar to how dolphins make you swim faster, except with the penguin, it's with boats. So maybe might get a penguin's grace effect or something like that. But yeah, those are the three mobs for the mob vote. So why are people upset about this? Because the way that the mob vote works is that leading up to Minecraft Live, we get to vote on which mob we want to add to the game. The winner gets added in the next update to the game, and the losers are gone forever. So that means, for example, if the penguin were to win the mob vote, then we will never see the armadillo or the crab. If the crab wins, we will never see the armadillo, penguin. If the armadillo wins, penguin, crab, gone. That has been the way for the past few mob votes, but it's only recently when that perk, gimmick, whatever of the mob vote has started to become a problem. So let's just run back what the previous mob votes were like and why now it's become such a big issue. So the first mob vote was held for the update Aquatic. And again, I can't remember when this took place. But basically, we were given access, we were shown 4 mobs instead of just 3. And one of them, called the Monster of the Night Skies, was the winner. And that would later become the Phantom monster. So for that mob vote, all the 4 options were just concepts. Like, the only thing we knew about them was like an idea of how they might work and a sketch that basically showed what they might look like if they ended up in the game. And these were purely concept art. Like, if you were to look at the Phantom during the mob votes and to now, you'll see that there was a lot of development put into it. Like, it's clear that the idea was incomplete. Whereas nowadays, we literally have the designs for the crab, armadillo, and penguin. We have their game mechanics and their behaviors all written down. So it's like, these guys are not just concepts, they're complete. Like, we can literally add these guys in the game tomorrow. In fact, people have already done that with data packs and mods. We just need them into the official version, and again, only one of these guys will make it in. The others are gone forever. The other thing is this gimmick where mobs are gone forever if they lose a mob vote. That idea was scrapped for the second and third mob votes, which was actually called a biome vote, because along with the new mob, you would get a new biome. Like, for example, for the biome vote, the first time we had the biome vote, which is technically also the second mob vote, the taiga biome won, and as a result, we got upgraded taiga biomes, we got berry bushes, and we also got the fox. And then for the second biome vote, technically third mob vote, we got the goats, mountains, powder snow, all that stuff. So for those times, we also got more than just a single mod. We got an upgrade to a biome. And the other thing is that Mojang promised that they would add the losers later on, just not yet. Not now. And they proved that with the wild update. The frog and the mangrove forests were part of the second biome vote. And even though they lost, Mojang added them years in advance. Well, years later, not in advance. Years later. And yeah, for those first couple of times, the mob vote was an interesting idea and it worked. Until the mob vote for 2020, that is. That's when things, at least from my perspective, started going downhill. Because we got to choose between the Moobloom, Isolager, and Glow Squid, which were part of the other Minecraft games. Like, the Isolager was part of Minecraft Dungeons, and the Moobloom and Glow Squid were part of Minecraft Earth. But now was our chance to put them in the main game. But the problem is, the only mob that could really add a lot more to the game was the Isolager, because it was an entirely new enemy that would roam the mountains. And since by that point, the mountains would be part of a future update, since it won a biome vote, that was an opportunity to add more to the mountains. But no, the glow squid ended up being added, and even though it also introduced glowing signs and glowing item frames, it was kind of underwhelming. There was no dynamic lighting, which people thought would be added to the game alongside the glow squid and whatnot. Then came the Mob Vote 2021, and honestly, the choices there were also underwhelming. We had to choose between the Glare, Alley, and Copper Golem. And the Glare, all it did was tell players when it was dark enough for monsters to spawn, but the average player can tell when it's dark enough for monsters to spawn. The ally would gather items around the world and give it to you, which, sure, but it's most useful for redstone contraptions, honestly. Same thing with the copper golem. All it did was push copper buttons. And the ally ended up winning, and even though I also voted for the ally, and I'm happy with its addition to the game, it's still underwhelming. And then, oh boy, last year, the Mob Vote 2022. That one was a bit confusing. We had to choose between the Sniffer, Rascal, and Tough Golem. 2 golems in a row, wow. Anyways, there was a lot of miscommunication and confusion over the behaviors of these new mobs. Like, I remember my friend Fart, who you may have met in the Notchland video, he voted for the Tough Golem because he was confused about what it did. He thought that it would be similar to the Iron Golem and the golems from Minecraft Legends, like the Wood Golem or the Redstone Golem from Minecraft Dungeons. And when I later told him what the Tough Golem actually did, he was like, oh no, now I want to vote for the Rascal. But by then it was already too late because the mob vote had ended and the Sniffer won. And even with the Rascal and Sniffer, their functions were not really known. Like, we knew that the Sniffer would dig up new plants, but we didn't know if those new plants would serve a function. And with the Rascal, it would give you stuff that would help you with mining. But the only mining related equipment in the game is a pickaxe, so what, is this just going to give you an enchanted pickaxe if you met the Rascal, or what? So, yeah. And now, the Mob Vote 2023. And the problem is, all these 3 mobs, Crab, Armadillo, Penguin, they're all good. Like, they provide a function. I mean, the Penguin's function is kind of underwhelming because it just speeds up your boat. That's kind of underwhelming. But still, it would be cool anyways to have the Penguin in the game because it adds more life to the game. The more creatures, hostile or friendly, that you add to the game, the more life you add to it. I remember there was a controversy over Mojang scrapping the idea for fireflies just because fireflies are toxic to frogs, and frogs would be added to the update as well. So, yeah. But even if you added the fireflies and not have them be eaten by frogs, it would still provide an atmosphere to the game. They would still add more life to it. Not just make it feel barren and empty like in some of these biomes. Like the armadillo is being added to the... Wait, let me see. Savannah. Savannah is kind of empty. I think you can only find llamas and that's pretty much it. Llamas, occasionally cows and sheep. But that's it. That's very few mobs in the savannah. The armadillo would add a bunch more life, but the way it is now, we would only see the armadillo if it wins the mob vote, which also means that we lose the penguin and crab. And the Stony Beach, the home for the penguins, is also barren as freak. The mangroves, not so much, because we have frogs there, but that's it. Adding crabs as well would also be cool, but again, we can only get one of these guys, which really, really sucks. So that's why I am unhappy with the mob vote, because adding all 3 of these would add more life to the game and add more functionality. But since we can only get one, it sucks. The worst part is that Mojang could. They can add all 3 of these. Like I said, these are almost complete concepts. All they need to do is actually put them in the game. All they need to do is add their models, their behavior code, their everything pretty much. Their animations, code, models, sound effects. And yeah. And as I've said, people have already added these guys in data packs and mods, like almost a day after they were announced. These mobs were announced. People were already making data packs and mods, putting these guys in the game. So that shows that it is possible to have all 3 of these in the game at once. But for some reason, Mojang's like, no, you can only have one. And this frustration also stems from the fact that Mojang has been making a lot of broken promises recently. Like, the archaeology feature was supposed to be for the Caves and Cliffs update, but it only got added until recently in the Trails and Tales update. Which is like 1 or 2 years later. And as I said, the Fireflies, they said that they were going to add the Fireflies, and then they were like, no, since Fireflies are toxic to frogs and we're adding frogs in the same update, we can't have them together, so goodbye Fireflies. And they also promised an upgrade to the birch forests, and that also got scrapped because they pretty much said, oh, it was just a concept, we changed our minds about adding it to the game. When they were literally promising us, this is going to be in the game. And then they decide, no, never mind. If it had been like another reason, like financial problems or something like that, then it would be understandable because, of course, you need money to develop a game. But no, they just said we're not adding it to the game because we don't feel like it. It's not something we wanted to commit to. So that was also disappointing. And then there's bundles, which has been an experimental feature for years. So, yeah. A lot of things are going on with Mojang right now. Only one of these guys, bundles are taking years to be added to the game. Features are being delayed, and we still don't know about the other biomes that lost the biome vote. They said they're going to be adding them to the game, but so far, all we got is the swamps. Only those guys got the glow up. So yeah. Just wanted to explain what's going on with the Mob Vote 2023, why people are upset, why I am upset. So yeah, hopefully this will be the last of many other videos, and I don't have anything against Mojang or Minecraft at all. I love this game. I respect the company that works with it, and I respect the people who are working hard to make Minecraft the game that it is now. This video is just mostly supposed to be criticism towards a flawed system. A system that worked in the past, but it's not working anymore. So yeah, hopefully by some miracle, with the loads of people protesting over this mob vote, that Mojang actually listens and adds all 3 of these guys in, but I have no idea how probable that is. But Mojang, if you're somehow watching a channel that only has 14 subscribers and you're watching this video, please add all 3 of these mobs together. It's completely possible. If independent people who don't work for the game have managed to add these guys into the game, then so can you with your hundreds and thousands of game developers, artists, designers, whatever. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and let's pray that these guys get added to the game. all three of them. Let's pray that Mojang listens to us.